got an idea. I've got an idea. Well, I haven't actually. I can't reach them. I can't reach them. I can't get my hand around there. I've got another one. No, they're not exhaust. Got two of them now. Oh, blimey. Why have we done that? I'll say why they've done that. And I'll tell you what. I'm going to do exactly the same. But I'm going to do it a little bit easier. I'm going to do it through some Copex or something. This is all just done loose. Thank you, see. Oh, God. Another weird junction box. We can cut all them. This is the ones we want. This is the ones we want. This lot. I don't care anymore. I need these out. I can't do anything with them. Oh, what? Bloody hell, look at this lot. You're not so good, I don't care. You're getting somewhere. Yes, we are. No, we're not. Hydraulic pipes. No one there. Hydraulic pipes. The last one. That's steering. That's our steering. So if we just leave these here, we'll be fine. We're looking good. Now, this little thing here, this is our outside power. To bring power into the boat, if we plug in. A bit awkward, but I can wire it from the outside, push that through. We're looking good. Now, we're going to tack that end. Oh, these are big old battery ones, but we don't need them because our battery runs to the inverter really short. So now I'll put these back here. Right in there. Perfect. Perfect. That's doing something. Right, I think I'll wear a contact. Right, pull this back. Not happening. Not happening. Now, to the big event, the one I've been waiting for. They weigh a ton. Look at here, like, you bang me out your phone. Right. Real big into here though. Feeling. Look at them bakers, we're keeping them. We actually have a sort out of these because there's some tremendously big cables in this which we're going to want. The rest can go. Look at these, this is battery. Beautiful. 2 tinned battery. Bit of red. That's nice. What do you think? Bit of a vacuum out. All these go through to the after. The after be a lot easier. We know what's happening here. We know what's happening here. We know what's happening here. There's 2 engines going in, one either side. Right now, for the time being, that's just going to be a salt. This one? Oh, I might have that one. 4 specific wires. Can't count. Bingo. This lot can go. This here, the skylight of the boats, it's all working, it does everything it needs to do, but you'll find that this is going to be the very, very last part of the boat to be done. These bits can come off, these bits can come off, because they are going to be kept and we can use them. Anything like hardwood we can use. But this is where the engines are going to come through. I could possibly bring them through the doors, but I think I've got to keep the option open that if we have to put the boat in the river or the sea or wherever it's going to go to put the engines in, possibly here, it could well be in the water when this happens. So that's my only option. So this is the last thing to come out. Now, today, we're on the very, very final part of the bilge strip out, not the clean, the strip out. So, let's move on, let's go. Oh boy, where do you start? Let's start with thinking about it. I'll tell you what, I don't want to save some cable, but this ain't going to be safe. This is going, I'm cutting it out. Do you know, it's already looking cleaner. I'm amazed. I've got a lot of stuff. See here. This here is an expansion vessel, which basically is way too small. This thing at the bottom here, I'm not too sure what this is. It's some sort of, I think it's a float switch, which was operating this bilge pump. This here is the toilet valve, which is obviously connected to the toilet, and is a valve which also connects it to the tank. This here is the seawater or river water infeed, which the toilet would have used. And then down here we've got two sensors. One of them is for speed, one of them's for depth. I'm not too sure what the other two are for. We need to find that out, we need to investigate that. And look, my favourite thing, hidden fuses, a hidden fuse. But that's pretty much what's down there. And to be absolutely honest, I think the speed control, which we will take out at a later day and I'll show you, it's just a little wheel on the end of a sensor that just picks up the movement of the boat as it's going through the water. But they can be very unpredictable, because if you're sitting in your boat and the tide is moving quite fast below you, you could actually be doing a couple of knots and not even moving. And nowadays we've got GPS, so a lot of this stuff is redundant. Right, there's our diesel tank, which is going to become our water tank. This is our water tank, which I'm debating on keeping. This is a pain. One tank, the water tank, well, a diesel tank going to become a water tank, and we're at no water in the bottom of the boat. Well, that's absurd. Now, let's take these up. See, this is what I mean, a lot of sawdust. We don't want to get in our tanks. take the whole thing off. There we go. Right, so now we're seeing, if you turn this up here, we are going to have to make a seal. We can order some rubber, go around here, punch all these holes. I do have some bolts today, little packets on there, just to put this in here. There's already sawdust in this now, so it's proven my point, so that's fine at the moment. Okay, floor's all back down. We know all the parts we're going to need, bolts, pipe fittings, etc. next time. Now, moving on. They come out easy enough, but I'll tell you what, it's going to take a little bit longer to put them back in again. But what I'm thinking, downlights, that's it. Downlights set in the ceiling. 2 in here, probably there may be a winch here, maybe 2 in here, 1 in there, and then down the sides, 1, 2, or maybe 1, 2, yeah. Kitchen will definitely have a couple there, because you'll have kitchen counter here, and coming around and into here, like the original. Then this will be like a bureau or something down there where you've got your TV. So that'd be like 1, 2, I'll probably have 3 lighting circuits, so you can have 3 switches in this area, 1 switch in that area, 1 switch in that area. I think that'd be enough. Just remember, I've always said it from the start, if you're new to doing something like this, save everything you can. Everything you can, because at the end of the day, if you don't save it, you're going to be spending the money out later on, because you're going to have to put it in another way. And this sort of stuff doesn't come cheap. Doesn't come cheap. Think about it. If in doubt, do not throw it out. That's a good one. If in doubt, don't throw it out. No point in having. Just take it all off. No good like people. That's it. Now we have the opportunity to put some hardwood fascias on, and we've also got some other wood as well, which we'll not be using today, but basically it will be this is some peeling. This will be like for tops and doors and stuff like that. So slowly the wood stuff's starting to arrive. Plus I've got a couple of switches I'm going to show you, which I'm going to use, the type of switches I'm going to use. But the big one today is I want to get that main panel on in the main cabin, and then I want to move through into the helm area and start doing a little bit there, because this is really important to us to start doing some of the electrical work, because that's where we're heading from. So, might as well get going. What was on this wall before was this awful piece of kit. Absolutely terrible, and I managed to take it off in one piece. So this is going to be my template, to be honest. So on this one I can use template, and I've got a board here ready to go. Well, it's not looking too bad, is it? That's just a stain. We need to sand these down. Sand this section here down a little bit, and just give it a little sand over, and then we're going to get a top coat of varnish on. Socket box, so that will sit like that when it's done. Yeah, sitting in there. Okay, so that's it. I won't do any more with this. I'll just let that dry. 2 or 3 hours time, it'll be touch dry. I'm just checking here, so you get a little bit there. This is the time to check to see if you've got any little runs appearing. Get them now. If you struggle with the run, just use a bit of thinner, and then just go over it, and then because the next varnish will go over it colour. So, right, number 1. Now we've got to leave it, got to be dust free. and we move on. We do some measuring. The one thing about where the sockets and the switches go in the back panel is you'll be able to see the back of the boxes when you're doing the electrics. So what I've done is I've just made these up, and they're just a very simple box, and the metal box will fit into them with the rubber glands at the back. I'm literally just going to put them in place, so the metal box will pop through. This will be what you'll see. So when we do the staining, varnishing, whatever we do from the inside, which is going to be very soon, we'll do these as well. Right, so I'll show you where they go. Basically, if you're looking on the inside of the panel, you can see where our old switch was. This is where the new switches go, just here, and just down the bottom there you can see where the old socket was, which was way too low, and this is where the new socket's going to go. So when we do this as wood, we're going to blend that in, and so yeah, so it just doesn't look out of place. We don't have horrible metal boxes. So coming up into the main warehouse, here's our panel. That's looking quite good. Again, we've got a little bit of dust on this, but we can take that off, we can buff that. And if you see here, I've been working on a template panel to get started. I'm not going to be too far out with that. If I cut along just on the inside, I do believe I'll be able to sand that down. It's actually come out quite well, but there's only really one way of making sure this is absolutely square now, and that is to just literally take your sanding pad, follow the edges. You've got an inner edge there, and we've got a little back piece, so that can be our guide. And basically, we're going to square this off. It can be completely squared off. And then the doors, it won't be doors, it'll be a panel which hooks in and hooks out. So there's no need, there's a seat here, there's no need to worry about opening the doors. You'll just literally hook in, take out. Think about this. What's sitting here is an 8x4 panel with very little outtake. So I had two panels, 8x4 hardwood. I've got a quarter of one left, and I've done the inner wall and the galley, and I've done this. Two panels. The boat will eat wood. Hey. Now this working station, which I'm now going to call a working station, is actually the starboard side of the wheelhouse, and it was originally used for maps and stuff. It probably still will be. But this is 2025, and I want to kind of bring, as we put this together, bring this up to scratch. Now, at the back here, I think it is. Oh, look at it, it's terrible. So that's got to come out. But I don't want to waste it. I don't want to waste that space. So I'm thinking about taking this out to a certain point, all that wood, treat the inside, and then I have a couple of things I want to put in. The first being 3 switches. I want a light just above here, and I want 2 C power points. C, these are DC30s, these are 65 watt USBs. I want a couple in here, so a couple of USBs. One, not so much, I want one to be a normal 12 volt car type one, what you plug in, and I want this one to be a C type, so you can charge your phones, your batteries, and do it in minutes rather than hours. And then on this side, just here, I'm thinking we've got room to do it. We can put a socket in here, and to bring the part up to scratch, this is only a 16mm, but I need 20mm. We can cut one in here, and then we can put what's called an RJ45, which is a computer cable or a network system, which I want to put in total. One here, one in the wheelhouse, one at the wheelhouse, sorry, console. One for the mast, one in the aft, and one in the main cabin. So you've got a network. So if you can use this as a working place if you want to. Come along, put your laptop on there. If you want to print off, you're using hard wiring. You can use Wi-Fi, but if you want on the mast, it'll be very useful because you can get all sorts of stuff to go on that. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to smash this out now. Bingo. Yeah, I think we're sand that round. Okay, so we're pretty clear there. We're pretty clear. Put my safety glasses on, keep getting bits of chip in my eye. Put them on, and on top. Now, it's amazing how dust gets through. So I'll now get a bit of black acrylic, and we'll look at putting a piece or cutting a piece to go in here, and then we'll look at putting in we'll cut that ready, so it's all done, templated, and it's ready to go. Right, I've cut this over. I've made it a fraction bit shorter because I want it to be going right up the edge there. I need to take the corner off a little bit, but I want a little bit more of a gap here, so I'm going to take a cable, 2 cables through. I've decided I'm going to order some more black acrylic, do this side the same, so that's what you end up with. It'll be black all the way across, and then wood top with base. But it's be a very, very nice looking 225 working station on a boat, which I would personally use myself. Trim on the side, trim on the bottom. I was debating about making this semi-permanent so you can actually unscrew it, but I decided against it because in the shower room, that panel, you can remove it. So, well, you will be able to remove it. So if you need to change USB or get any of this at the back, you can get to it from that side. Right, I'm just going to trim this a little bit, and then we measure it. It's all been cut. That's squared off okay. We've got room here if you want to put another one. Bit awkward doing this down here, but as you can see now, that's been cut. Just now I've had a bit of a clear up so we can see where we are. I've put a bit of boarding on the top of this, which will be the same thickness as what's going to go on these 2 sections here. because I want to show you something which I found. Now, when I say it's a jigsaw puzzle, it's a jigsaw puzzle. And I found this, and I think it's something to do with this useless bit of space here, because this is useless unless you've got a higher rim. So, on a working station, let's have a look at this. Now, at some point it's been joined, which is a shame, but I think we can work with it. I think we can get this. Let's have a look. Now, this I do believe was for this point of the boat, because it fits. It literally fits exactly. If I put it up onto the plate, that's got to come up a little bit higher there, because the top board doesn't quite go to the end. So if we sit that there, we'll be about right where we are, apart from this bit's hanging down. It's a shame that there's a crack in here, and but I think that is part of this boat, because it matches, almost matches, the piece of wood at the back here, which is hardwood, this here, and the top section. So I think we need to do something with this, and I'm going to look at repairing this. We've got to look at something else today, and that's really the mast, because weather's a bit rubbish outside at the moment, but we will go and have a look, because we need to think about putting the mast on the boat. And I'm going to show you a couple of little bits of what I've done to get this ready to have the mast. So let's leave that for 5 minutes, and we'll have a, yeah, good idea, I'm pleased. The mast itself, I'll take these with us. It fits onto the top of this wheelhouse via these stainless steel, basically base plates. Now originally they were sitting on these, which was absolutely rotten, and they sit like this. So for example, this one would sit on the starboard side, because it's going to curve with the roof, and the mast has to stay straight. So what I've done is I've basically copied these, and I've made that's the one for this one, yeah. So I've made a couple up. Now this is the Sapili. Basically what I've done is bonded two pieces together. I angled the cut on the saw on one piece, and I've made an identical piece. And this is purely to keep the mast, when it sits on the roof, that will sit that way round like this. It will sit exactly level. If we look here, the measurement, this is on the laser. This is a stainless steel plate which has been purposely built just for the mast on the starboard side. Now we come across the other side, the lasers on this one as well. Just about see it. We know, just by looking at these, they're absolutely straight on the inside. There is absolutely no way, we cannot be off. It's a good lump. It's going to take two people to put this on. I can get the brackets and stuff like that on, but I can't put this on my own. I'm going to have to get some help to get someone to lift it. When it goes on, this thing folds forward onto the top of the boat if you need to, and that's what these are for. These are safety lines, and basically these will be two more brackets which will need to fit into the roof of the boat once this is on, to assess where these have got to go. And basically they are a safety line, so it can't come tumbling back down. That's the idea, and gives it a bit of stability. So yeah, lights, radios, aerials, and what we're going to put on here as well is a RJ45 box somewhere up here as well, so we can put some internet stuff on. It all goes on this. We'll have spotlights, we'll have everything. It's all going on this. And I'll give an idea of the size. If I step up with it, it's not small. It's not small. It's big, and it's a tremendous piece of kit. I mean, I'd hate to go out and buy one of these. I'd hate to go out and buy one of these. Oh my god, costs a fortune. Right, now if I can get down without falling off the back of the boat, it'd be nice. Trip hazard, look. Right, okay. That's there. Stick that there like that. Pick up the bit of the boat that broke. Stick on the list. Right, get out of here now, look. Right, so now let's have a look where it goes. This here is your roof mount, and basically it's shaped so the piece of the plates on the inside will match these holes here. This matches this, and then that will basically bolt through there. So the bolts go straight through the plates, and I can adjust it on the inside. Now the mast itself swivels on these, so that can go forward. And so we're going to have two more fixings at the front, which we need to look at. We can't do nothing about that until the mast is on, and we know exactly where we're going to put them. Plus we need another strong point. And basically that's what holds the mast down, this screw here. I tend to drill a small hole through the thread and then put a safety pin through, just to be on the safe side. But they're shaped just like that, just for the roof. So you can see there, that's nice and straight. Now I've checked this, I know it's straight. That will sit there, one either side. Once they're on, I'm going to get someone to give me a hand to just lift the mast into place. But before I do that, I need to give everything a fantastic wash down, including this roof. I mean, it's just too green. These will be painted white, so the same paint was on here, exactly the same, because we're going to have to do a bit of repainting on the top of the roof's obvious, and I don't want to be taking these off. So if I paint them white, they're going to be bulletproof. I can just mask them up, mask up the mast, legs, and I'm away. Rightio, I think we've got that. I think we've got that anyway.